I'm live. Hey everyone, this is Nikki Krop. I'm also known as the Oily Mama K, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself. I have been living the oily life for almost 3 years now, closer to 2.5, we'll go with. And I am so thankful that essential oils were brought into my life. This video is to tell you my story. And to tell you my story is actually telling my husband's story. So it was the winter of 2015, and he was an EMT. He's still an EMT, and he was moving a patient after an ice storm. And when he did this, he actually lost his footing and his legs slipped underneath the stretcher. So his back twisted in such a way that it caused a severe injury to his back. His partner took him to the ER, and he was diagnosed with a severe muscle sprain in his back. They gave him painkillers and muscle relaxers and then brought him back to the station. Well, at the time, we only had one vehicle, money was tight. And so here he was on pain meds, couldn't drive himself home, and he had our only vehicle. So I reached out to a friend who lived nearby and asked her if she wouldn't mind giving me a ride. She was very generous in doing so. And on the way out there, I had told her what had happened. And she had told me a little bit about how essential oils had improved her life. They had helped her to remove some medications from her life, they helped her to quit smoking, amongst other things. And honestly, I hadn't heard a lot of what she was saying because I was a little worried about my husband. I was worried about how long he'd be out of work, what it would do for us financially. So my focus really wasn't on what she was telling me, but I did hear a little of it. And she said, "Why don't I make a blend for you? It'll help him get him back on his feet faster." And I'm like, okay, great. Why not? Anything that's going to help him, I'm willing to try. So I had told her, he's allergic to tree nuts and allergic to, eucalyptus. So don't put anything like that in there. And she's like, "Oh, that's not a problem." Because honestly, when she told me essential oils, I'm thinking, what, coconut oil, jojoba? I had no idea. So she dropped me off and I thanked her for the ride. I got my husband home and managed to get him up into bed. He was a bit loopy on the pain meds, so he wasn't feeling much of anything in the way of pain. The next day was a completely different story. He was walking like Frankenstein. He was in so much pain. It took him over 20 minutes to get down a single flight of stairs. He was hurting. And despite the pain, he did not want to take any of the painkillers that the doctors had given him because it's just not his nature. He will not concede to pain pills unless he's practically on his deathbed. So he was willing to take a muscle relaxer. He took one of those, which made him again feel a little loopy. So I helped him get back up into bed. And in the meantime, my friend had texted me and told me she had this oil blend ready for me. So I went over to her house and she handed me a little bottle very similar to this. And I'm going to hold it real close for you so you can see exactly how big it is or how small it is. So there's an index finger. It's basically to the first knuckle. And the bottle wasn't even full. It was maybe half full. And I looked at her and I'm like, okay, so what do I do with this? And she said, "I know it doesn't look like much, but trust me, this will help him heal up and get back on his feet." I'm like, okay. She said to apply a couple drops to his back and just rub it in gently and do that 2 or 3 times a day. So I thanked her for the oils and I brought them home. And I went up to my husband, who was just waking up from his nap, and I said, "Here, I got these oils that are supposed to help you." He looked at me and he said, "I don't want that voodoo magic witchcraft on my body." And I had to laugh because, of course, that's just his nature. And I said, "What are you going to do? Run away?" Because I'm a very caring and nurturing person this way. So I said, "Listen," I go, "I've been promised that this will not harm you in any way. There's nothing that's going to cause like a bad reaction. Let's give it a try. Worst case scenario, it doesn't do anything for you." I need to backtrack a little bit. His back, where that muscle sprain was, actually looked like someone had tucked a football underneath it. That's American football, if anyone's seen this overseas. Um, Almost like a rugby ball. It was literally like, it looked like a lump like this under his skin right next to his spine. This is exactly what it looked like to me. And so it was not, just a little bump or anything like that. It was a severe muscle bundle had tightened up under his skin. So I put a couple drops on his back and I rubbed it in, and he lied back down. He wasn't in the mood to get up or do anything like that. So I did that 2 more times, and within 12 hours, that muscle bundle had disappeared. It's not an exaggeration. He was back to work in 3 days with no residual side effects whatsoever. After that first 12 hours, he was walking normal as well. No pain med. So he never took a pain pill. He never took another muscle relaxer besides that one, which all it really did was make him loopy. It didn't seem to help anything. And from that point on, I was like, I need to know more. So I started attending classes, and I eventually got my own starter kit with Young Living. Young Living are the only oils that we use in our home. There is a very distinct reason for that. It was not only the company that we were introduced to, but once I've done my research, I realized it truly is the number one company out there. They are forefront, head and shoulders above the other companies out there. They are the only company that I know that has a seed to seal promise, where from the moment the seed goes in the ground to the moment the seal goes in the bottle, nothing has touched these oils but what God created. They are incredible. I had an opportunity recently to see the farm and see the distillation process, even to see the bottling process, and the scientists doing their work on a daily basis to make sure that the bottles are the purest of oils that you can never get your hands on. But that's a story for another day. So, from my introduction to oils, we have incorporated several oils into our home on a daily basis. My husband actually wears them on a regular basis now, despite their voodoo witchcraft ways. He actually loves oils. He carries them with him everywhere he goes. My sons each wear diffuser necklaces. They each have blends or singles that they prefer to use. My youngest, who is 9, will actually go into my oil cabinet behind me rather than go and ask for medicine if he has discomfort of any sort. So he knows. He knows that the oils work, they help, and they know that they are doing no harm to his body. So my children are growing up healthier than they ever could have before. They're definitely growing up healthier than I did. And I'm hoping to keep us all on a path of wellness and abundance and goodness as it comes our way. So this is my video on my introduction. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have. I will be happy to answer anything I can or point you in the right direction to find information. And in the meantime, it's time for oils. Bye.